Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy, and today I need to talk about the spring update that just happened a few weeks ago because, yeah, it was terrible. I mean, off the bat, I think most of the community can agree that the Spellman update was terrible. So if you aren't aware, if you've been living under a rock, you can no longer reset your spell elements anymore. So any spell elements upgrade you make, they're permanent. They removed the reset button. So you haven't been on, you do get a one-time free reset, but it's so problematic because one, the devs, they change the spells all the time in what they do. So, like, if you invest into a path now, you put spell elements into it that are permanent that you don't get back, and the next update, the devs change what the spell does, like they have been doing, then you're just, all that time was wasted. And now you have to grind for spell elements again. And the spell element system was already super grindy, incredibly grindy, and the player base was demanding for a better solution to make it less grindy. And what do they do in response? They made it even more grindy. So yeah, now if you want multiple paths, path A is usually for PvE and path B and C is typically for PvP. You have to grind more spell elements to unlock each of them. I guess it's not all doom and gloom though. They slightly reduced the amount of spell elements that we need for each tier. And now if you do upgrade multiple different paths, you can use the different paths, like you can pack the spells of different paths into your deck. But I don't know. It's just we wanted a solution and this wasn't it. And in response to like the backlash that they got, they added a badge at tier 5. So if you max out your spell elements to tier 5, you get a badge, and in return it gives you 500 spell elements. So that way you can unlock another path, but it's honestly just such a band-aid solution because like what if you have other wizards that you want to transfer these spell elements to and you still want to use multiple paths? It just makes it more grind. I mean, the real solution is to just make universal spell elements. For example, like fire spells, they all like make a fire spell element reagent, and you can use this fire spell element reagent for all of the fire spells. And there would be balance spell elements, storm spell elements, and they can be used to upgrade their respective spells. I think it's just so weird that you have to get a specific spell element for each specific spell in the game. Like that makes no like it's just so weird to me. And this makes the system more grindy for the player base, but also just makes more work on the devs end and the tech teams end where they have to like input a different spell element for each spell. And the other problem with the badge is that there are a lot of spells that don't go up to tier 5. Some of them only go up to tier 3, tier 4. Like Toilet, for example, only goes up to tier 4. So even if you max it out at tier 4, you don't get the badge. It has to be a tier 5 spell. So the band-aid doesn't even fix all of the spells. And another issue with the badge is now there are a lot of people in the game that play the game to collect badges, and now they have to go through the effort of max tiering every single spell if they want to collect all the badges for them. And that's just going to take so much time and effort, and it's so tedious farming for spellmans. Oh my god. If you guys ever farmed bosses or cantrip chests for spellmans, you know how tedious it is. Ugh. But honestly, the spellman thing wasn't even the biggest issue for me personally. For me, it was that they removed Archivist tournaments. So if you are unaware what Archivist tournaments are, they are essentially what old PvP was. So Archivist tournaments only allow the base version of your spell to be used. So it was very similar to old PvP. And the likely reason why they got rid of it was because to do Archivist, you had to reset all of your spell elements to base. Otherwise, they wouldn't show up in your deck. But since you can't reset your spell elements anymore, essentially you couldn't do Archivist. So instead of like fixing it so that players could still use their base spell for Archivist, they just got rid of the whole game mode in general? Like, what? And the reason why it pisses me off is because Archivist is my favorite game mode in this game. Like, Team Archivist PvP. 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s. That is when I have the most fun playing this game, is doing Archivist tournaments with my friends, but now I can't even do them because it's not even an option in the game. The devs need to allow us to use just the base spell if we want to, like at least reset our spell between the base version of the spell and the Spellman upgraded one. Like if you upgrade your spell, like if you upgrade Deer Knight, you can't use base Deer Knight anymore. Like you just can't. You have to use the path that you upgraded to, which is crazy. But they need to bring back Archivist tournaments. They also need to make it just a housing mode too. They need to let us just play Archivist in our house, add castle magic that allows us to do Archivist. That allows us to do Archivist Quick Match, Archivist Classic Mode, just how it was in the past. And if they do that, I think you'll see a lot of people come back. People have been talking about how small the PvP community is. But if you look back in the day, like, there were dozens of content creators that did Team PvP, and they had thousands and thousands of subscribers, maybe combined hundreds of thousands of views. That was something that people really love to do, and a lot of them have left the game now because the devs got rid of this game mode and have just consistently neglected PvP, but especially Team PvP. And they did in this update bring back 2v2 tournaments. I saw this weekend they don't have any 2v2 tournaments, so maybe, I don't know, maybe they already got rid of them. But until like they reduce the barrier to entry to tournaments, people aren't going to be doing them. Like currently, you have to get tourney tokens to even enter a tournament. The problem is the vast majority of people don't even know where to get tourney tokens. There are 3 different ways. The loyalty store, and it's only in the loyalty store every other month. So if you want to do it a month where it's not in the loyalty store, or if you're not even a member, you're screwed. The other way is to do ranked PvP, but that's kind of backwards because people want to do PvP tournaments to do PvP for fun without putting the rank on the line. And then the third way is Portal of Peril, which I think is another event, which I believe only happens like every so often. And it only recently came back like a couple weeks ago. Like Portal of Peril was gone for the last year. But then like if some player wants to go do PvP tournament, they have to go farm a PvE housing gauntlet via a Portal of Peril event that only happens every so often to do tournaments. Like it just feels so roundabout when they could just make tournaments free or make them cost gold. I don't know, just a crazy idea. But guys, that's not all. That's not all they did this update. They banned dispels, so you can't use dispels anymore in PvP or any advanced combat. So that applies to challenge dungeons and raids too. But what's crazy is Dispel shields already exist. There was already a counter to Dispels. So if they didn't want the player base to dispel a certain boss, they could have just added Dispel shields. In PvP, there are already Dispel shields. You can't spam Dispels. So like banning Dispels was such overkill and removed like a key tool that was used in Team PvP. And the last thing I have to talk about today is Diego. They reintroduced Diego after years of Diego not being in the arena. And guess what? This man, Diego, is high as hell. Like, I don't know what he's on, but I've been seeing him in the arena picking people who shouldn't be winning. So if you don't know what Diego does, once time runs out in a PvP match, Diego will come out and decide who is worthy of victory. And what happens a lot of times is he'll come out and he'll choose the guy that has way less health than the other person and has way less pips, like doesn't have as much like dots or hots favorable to him. And that person that should have lost ends up winning, which is so crazy to me. Like, look, I don't do ranked 1v1 at the moment. I might get back into it, but like imagine like how frustrating, like PvP is already not in good shape. And now like imagine like stepping into the arena and competing for rank only to have the upper hand in a match, but Diego decides to come out and is like, yo, I'm gonna pick the losing, the guy that should have lost. I'm gonna let him win. Like what? What is this? Like, I don't know what they put in the algorithm, what they put in Diego, but yeah, they need to fix that because it's just gonna make the queue shrink, and the queue is already pretty small. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the spring update. If you guys are looking to do some team PvP, I host team PvP events every weekend in my Discord server. Link will be down in the description. If you're looking to join a guild, the Celadon Tigers are recruiting. The link to our Chief Recruiters Discord will also be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on a fly, live la vida loca. Nobody find it's a Coca-Cola. Oh,